Hey YouTube, welcome back. It's Dave again with Military Money Mastery. Today's episode, CFund. Yes, probably the best performing fund overall since inception in '88. It's been doing really good. So we're gonna go over it. Today, to go over the CFund, we're gonna ask what it is. Do you actually know what it is? So we'll figure that out today, and then we'll look at what the risks are and what the benefits are. There's risks and benefits to every fund, but it really depends on who you are as an investor, where you are in as far as your retirement goes, and what your plans are. So I know this is personally a fund that I've invested into, and I know Warren Buffett has said that it's a good fund to invest in. Not this one particular, but he said a fund that mimics the S&P 500, which is what this fund does. So it's a really good idea to invest in this fund. If Warren Buffett agrees, then it's probably good enough for us too.
All right, so let's go over what the CFund actually is. So the CFund's an investment objective, which is like a model. So designed to match or beat the performance of the Standard & Poor's 500. So if you're not familiar, Standard & Poor's 500, S&P 500. I'm sure you've heard it in the news. I'm sure you've heard it in newspapers or people talking about S&P 500 as a stock market. That's what it is. So it's the top 500 large to medium based US companies. And it represents about 82% of the market in total US stocks, which is, so it's pretty big. The companies that are in this fund are, you can see at the bottom of this page here, is Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren B's company, super famous investor, Johnson & Johnson. I'm sure you've used some of their bathing products at some point. JP Morgan Chase. I don't know about the other branches, but the Coast Guard, that's what our travel card used to be. I got Exxon Mobil. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. Everybody's got to have gas, right? Alphabet, and if you're not familiar with what Alphabet is, that's actually Google. For whatever reason, that's their name in the stock market. So yeah, Alphabet, that's Google. So let's go over a couple of the key features here. It offers an opportunity to earn high investments income. So over time, you're going to earn a lot more than inflation. You have the opportunity to earn compounding interest with this, so it's really good. Let's go over some of the risks. As you can see right here, it says you have a risk of the S&P 500 going down. So it's always a risk. Over the last few months, it's been a bear market, so the market's actually been down, which is, believe it or not, the best time to be putting more money into it, because that means you can buy more shares of any given stock at a cheaper price. So when the market does eventually correct or go back up, you're going to have more shares than what you would have had before. So it's a super good way to buy. And I know that's how Warren Buffett does it. And I know I talk about Warren Buffett all the time, but he's the best investor of all time. So you should probably listen to whatever he says. And also the earnings consist of gains or losses of prices and stocks, dividend incomes. So, the better the stock does, the better the dividends are, the more earnings we'll have, the higher value our fund will be. So it's a really good investment fund to be in. And if you see this page here, you can see the assets 193.8 billion. So they have tons of buying power. You can look at the net expense ratios, which is 32 cents per $1,000 investment. So super cheap, stupid cheap. You couldn't find this on the outside. No way, no how. You see the rates of return you see in 2008 down here at the bottom. You had a pretty significant loss. That happens. You have to be able to weather these storms, because look at the next year. It went up, and the next year it's up. Even 2018, I wouldn't be surprised, because this is, as you can tell, from December 31st, 2017. I wouldn't be surprised if it was still up from 2018, because we had a good market at the beginning of the year, and then towards the end it just kind of, it's been barren. But we'll see. So this is the second page of that CFund. I'll show you how to get to this page in a future slide, but this basically breaks down like what the industry groups are for the CFund. So you can tell there's all kinds of different companies in there, so it's very diverse, which I know you've probably heard people saying, hey, diversify your portfolio. You can kind of diversify it here, so it's pretty good. It takes spectrum of the entire market, not just one company or like one sector. So it's not just taking like technology or real estate or commodities. It's got a very broad spectrum of companies in this fund. So it's super good because it's basically diversifying just in a fund. And I know personally I've invested in this fund, and since it's been bear over the last like couple months, I've been actually putting more and more money into it because I know that money's going to go farther in the long run. So what you have right here, this is actually from TSPgov. This is showing the rates of return over the lifespan of the CFund. You have, in 2017, you got 21.82%, which is huge. That you would have made tons of money if you were in the market then. You can see since January 29th of 88, it's been pretty good, 10.53%. So it's actually like keeping up with the S&P 500 for the most part. You can see it like certain aspects, it's actually beaten the S&P 500, but there were probably a few years there when it first got on that it wasn't beating it, but it was just kind of like maintaining. So here's another graph of the S&P 500, the CFund. So this is actually in 2014. So 2017 probably would have been somewhere up here because 20% increase is huge. So I wouldn't be surprised if this bar was like way up here. But this is just showing you how good the CFund has been over time. So this is actually on TSP.gov. Right here we have the CFund. So what you do is you click investment. If you want to learn more about the investment funds, you click investment funds, go to CFund. You can watch this video. The video is super informative. I don't know about you guys, but I prefer to listen or watch videos than read. It just helps me out because I don't usually have time to just sit down and read. So as I'm driving to work in the morning or I'm working out, I actually listen to like financials and stuff, and I'll listen to these videos to actually like learn what these funds are. So it's a very, very useful and helpful tool. So for that first page that we had, this one right here, this thrift savings plan key features, you can actually find that right here. So after you click CFund, under key features, you can click need more info, click on the CFund information sheet. Super helpful. You can click on performance too. It'll show you a little bit of the performance of the fund. It'll talk a little bit more in depth about it, about as far as performance goes, but I'm just trying to give you guys like a general knowledge of the CFund. It's a very, very good broad market to be in. It's done very, very well. It's actually been the best average performing or highest average performing stock or fund out of all the other options that have been given. S&I do have higher single year marks than the CFund, but they also have lowest year marks. So the CFund has been very, very consistent. As you can see, it got 10.5% since 88, and to me that's a super good investment to make, and I would highly suggest it. And this is great for your retirement account. I know Warren Buffett, the owner of the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, recommends to put money into a Standard & Poor 500 index type fund, and that's what this is. And this fund is cheaper than anything else that you can find on the outside market. So I'd highly suggest at least taking a look at this fund. And that's been a pretty good summary of the CFund. This is Dave from Military Money Mastery. I thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks so much for your views and passing it along to other people so other people can learn. I wish I would have learned this when I was first joining. Oh my gosh, I would be so much farther along than I am now. And you'd be surprised on how many people don't actually know about the TSP, and just sharing the video with somebody, be like, hey bro, check this out, or hey, if not your bro, hey girl or whoever, come check this video out. Like it'll really help, I promise. But anyway, this has been Dave from Military Money Mastery. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Check out our Facebook page. The links, everything will be down below. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.